Hey, what's up? Kyle Frankie here, and I am going to show you guys how I do ACES workflow with CG using After Effects, Cinema 4D, and Redshift. So first, we go to the GitHub. Let's grab that, download the zip, and then we're going to want to put that into a spot where it's easily accessible. So I just have a tools folder that I put everything in. And let's unzip it. And then if you look inside of the most recent version, we've got LUTs there that specifically, there's a whole bunch of LUTs for all types of purposes. So I'm just going to copy it and put it into my tools folder, which I believe is already in there. Yep. Okay. So let's pop over to Cinema 4D here and we'll just take a look. We're in sRGB by default. And if in Redshift, there's the little icon up to the right, a little gear icon. And if we tap down the display mode and load up our config file, we should be able to choose Rec 709. That's the one that I want to use for my purposes here. So then one more thing, we need to go into the render settings, go to Redshift Post Effects and go to color management, enable that and click on the Open IO, save that, and you can see our display preferences there as our Rec 709. So I've already rendered this, so we'll top over to After Effects here and load in our image sequence, which is an EXR image sequence with layers, but we won't be diving into that. So first, let's interpret footage, go to main, and then go to color management and change it from sRGB or whatever you've got going on right now. And we're going to want to pick the ACES CG and change my frame rate to 24 and straight. That's how I've rendered it. And then we'll just create a new composition using that footage. And I've got some scopes up, so just change over to float because I'm in 32-bit mode. The other thing that we want to do is change our display space over to 32-bit and ACES CG. And then I'm just gonna turn on some other scopes so we can see what's going on here. And float as well. And I want to do some color correction just to show what's going on here. Basically what we have is a much larger amount of data, so we can push and pull the highlights and the blacks pretty far before they deteriorate. But what I find is the best thing about this workflow is the fact that not only is it standard right now for most film, we also end up having a more natural looking filmic color space in the end. It's something that I'm sure all you CG artists out there realize the benefit of. The quicker and faster that you can get to a realistic looking image, the better off you are. So I definitely recommend this workflow. It's been working pretty well for me, and yeah, I'd say the only other thing here is when rendering, I believe that you can just set your output to ProRes and it'll keep all the colors, but there's no guarantee there. So what I actually like to do is pop it into media encoder, and then I can ensure that it's the right output. Seems to be working well for me, so I'm just gonna keep with that and show you guys how to do that. So pop open media encoder, it'll load in the scene, and then I usually pick QuickTime, and then we can pick from any flavor of ProRes, but 4444 ensures the widest gamut. So the other thing is, if we click on maximum depth, we have an option to go Rec 709 out and 16-bit, which is what I usually end up exporting with. So I hope that was educational, and if anybody has a better workflow, please post.